Hello everybody. On the auspicious occasion of Buddha Jayanti today, I take this opportunity to speak about the origin and some aspects of Buddhism. Let us start in early era. At the beginning of Indic culture, recent studies and archaeological proofs indicate that the theory of Aryan invasion is doubtful. Migration of clans and tribes constantly took place from Mesopotamia right up to the areas around the river Volga. Very often, harsh conditions, extreme weather, and natural calamities drove people relentlessly. In search of greener pastures, for thousands of years, many of these, on reaching India, settled in the north. Nasadiya Sukta Bhashya, an in-depth study of Veda, states that there was an envelope of darkness in the universe or Vishwa before creation of Veda, with no visible path or light at the end of the tunnel as a way, or we can call marga, out. Some inhabitants established a system of sacrifice based on rituals, what we can call karma kanda. What was to be sacrificed? Sacrificial elements could be materialistic, tangible, or even non-tangible elements. Continuity and functioning of the whole universe was assumed to be a result of these sacrifices. This was the essence which was called Brahman rituals. However, a parallel thought process was also present simultaneously. As per Dr. R.G. Bhandarkar's opinion, who is a founder of our institute also, same time, irrespective of sacrificial traditions, there were philosophical speculations of an independent basis on self-consciousness, comprehensive knowledge and contemplation. These varied thought process and different concepts resulted in establishing Upanishads, which consist of several philosophical discussions, whereas the Rigveda Samhita has many philosophical hymns. All these developments are looked upon as the beginning of a way out of the darkness, a brooding force, a driving energy, sprouting of seed or germ of desire in the mind. May be interpreted as a gradual shift from need or want being the base to a mentality based on desire. Renunciation of desire is extensively adopted by Buddhism. Buddhism strongly advocates four universal truths. The first two are misery, and the origin of misery is desire. If the misery of worldly existence is due to desire, then according to Buddhism and Upanishads, by uprooting your desire, you are free from misery and attain eternal bliss. Immortality is the third aspect of Buddhism. Here we cannot separate the soul from the mind, thought and body, and ultimately aims at annihilation from earthly pleasures and mortal bindings. In Upanishads, there occurs a passage which comes very near to denial of soul as a separate entity, which is indicated in Yajnavalkya and Arthabhaga's discussion. Addressing Arthabhaga individually, Yajnavalkya says, "Let us discuss some aspects of karma, emphasizing that your karma is forever and your mortal remains ultimately get dissolved in the cosmos." So, the ideas involved in this dialogue are: 1. That the soul is not a substance separate from the component parts of human beings. 2. What renders transmigration or the production of new being is possible only because of karma. The third concept is common to all Hindu systems of philosophy, but the first two are heterodox. That's the reason why Yajnavalkya spoke with Arthabhaga all alone, because it was a bit shocking to traditional Hindu philosophy that these two aspects are similarity between Buddhism and Upanishad. There is a celebrated dialogue between Greek king Milinda or Menander and a Buddhist son Nagasena, and the inference is that name and form are reborn again in the manner in which good or evil deeds are done. By these deeds or karma, there is another name and another form. In the external world also, this belief of non-existence of mortal being, but what exists is knowledge. So knowledge is phenomenal and everything else is kshanik or momentary. It was not only metaphysical doctrines of Buddhism, but its attractive ethical side with righteousness that influence society at large. In Buddhism, there are simply ethical discourses without reference to God. The same ethical things are there in Mahabharata also, which resembles with Buddhist ethical thoughts. This ethical side represents right conduct, which is again is a noble truth and is divided into eightfold or eight paths. That is, right views, right resolve, right speech, right action, right living, right effort, right self-knowledge, right contemplation. So, Buddhism was not only a social revolution but a religious establishment which was propagated by monks and later by Samrat Ashoka, who had renounced the world and professed not to care for materialistic views. From ancient times, there existed such system and was known as Shraman system. Shramans originally belonged to all castes. So this Shraman tradition is the basis of Buddhism. The very important role of Ashoka is in propagation of Buddhism. He contributed a great deal to its acceptance by society through his edicts or inscriptions. The name Buddha is not mentioned still. The dharma or righteousness that he preaches is in the spirit of Buddhism. In all inscriptions, Brahman and Shramans are given equal importance. The Rumandi pillar in Nepal informs us that Ashoka visited the place where Buddha was born, that is Lumbini, and visited Bodh Gaya also. There is also some evidence that Ashoka converted to Buddhism. This evidence is supplied by minor rock inscriptions, the copies of which have been found at least on 6 different places. From these inscriptions, we can find out that he was a disciple for over 2.5 years. So we can call him a sadhaka or a follower. Then he lived with the Sangha for 1 year, but never became a bhikkhu. Dr. D.R. Bhandarkar, son of Dr. R.G. Bhandarkar, states that he became Bhikkhu Ghatika. So it is clear that Ashoka was Buddhist, and as per Buddhist tradition, he has given importance to all cultures and religions. In many inscriptions, it has been specifically written that Dhamma or Dharma should be explained, not to be forced on any individual. Samrat Ashoka also had one son and a daughter from a queen who was staying in Vidisha. He sent his son Mahendra and daughter Sanghamitra to Ceylon for propagation of Buddhism. So Buddhism flourished in India and outside India in between 300 BC to 300 CE. In conclusion, in continuity with Buddhist thoughts, let us realize that misery and desire still have a prominence in our daily lives. And maybe we all can find some answers in study of Buddhism. Thank you.